With a growing ageing population, what plans does Labour have for caring for the elderly?
Well, top of the list is what we've titled the National Care Service, which will sort of, in a lot of ways, will mirror what we've done with the National Health Service, providing health care free at the point of delivery. We want to do that for older people at the end of that, towards the end of their lives. People are now expecting to live longer, partly due to the extra investment we've had in the NHS. It wasn't that long ago, 10, 13 years ago, waiting lists for some operations were sort of more than two years people were waiting for operations, and the longest you'll wait now is 18 weeks. So I mean, that's a huge change, and because people are living longer, that's putting extra pressure on the pensions that they've paid into all their lives. They therefore quite rightly expect to be able to live at a decent level, and to be looked after as they get older. That's why we want to introduce a national care service where there will be free home helps, home care for people who want to stay in their homes, residential care. There might be some cost at the beginning, but there'll be a cap on that, so that if you've been in a care home for up to 2 years, that you wouldn't pay any further than that. In sharp contrast to the Tories, who are asking for a sort of an upfront voluntary donation or contribution, I think they call it, of £8,000. Well, I haven't got £8,000 sitting around, and I'm sure a lot of people haven't. So I think that there needs to be a big debate about it, because it is going to be a huge problem for whichever party gets in after the election, and I certainly hope it's us, because the way forward is this National Care Service. We've got a lot of charities and voluntary sector organisations buying into it already. We just need some others to buy into it as well.
Caitlin, in this election, as you participate in the street stalls and knock on people's doors, what are you finding are the 3 issues people are most concerned about?
There's obviously, not surprisingly I think, a lot of concern about the economy. We have been through a fairly sort of rocky sort of 12-18 months or so, but all the latest figures show that we are maybe slowly, I'd like to think steadily, moving out of recession. I think the OECD has got us down as being the second fastest growing economy in the G7 at the moment, which is in sharp contrast to what the Tories would like us to believe. So I think the economy is crucial, and the plans that Gordon Brown has put in place to move us on, to move us out of that and into recovery, I think are exactly the right steps. He's been shown to be a world leader in this, and I think we would be stupid to sort of to divert from that. The Tory plans would just sort of risk us falling backwards into recession, and that doesn't do anybody any good. I mean, I know it's just straws in the wind, but in the last few weeks there's been 4 or 5 houses on my road go up for sale. Now, one of them this week has actually got a sold sign, and there's 2 houses down the road from here that have got sold signs on. Now that's just suggested to me that the economy is picking up again, and so I think there's all to play for on that. We've got to keep it steady as she goes though. Immigration has been coming up quite not a lot, but it's certainly something that concerns a number of people. But we have got a new Australian style based point system, which means that only people the kind of people that are allowed in are those whose skills we need. So I think there's a good system in place to control immigration, so that we have the skills that are coming in that we need. And with regards to EU immigration, there's the same number of people leaving UK to work in Europe as there are coming in from Europe. So there's no net gain or net loss that way. So I think it's one of those issues that tends to get blown out of proportion, and it shouldn't really, because it can be a huge benefit. You look at some of the people who've come to this country from abroad, and we would be much the poorer place without them.
And your third issue?
Third issue, I think education actually, and to come back to education, people are concerned about what's going on in schools, and I think people do forget that, one of the first things the Labour government did in High Peak when it won control in 1997 was to say, yes, you can have a new Chapel Infant School, and they've built a brand new school. It's now sort of combined with the junior school, which is an amazing sort of oasis of calm and peace and education. The school it replaced was housed in horse huts, and it had pit props holding up the roof. That just crystallises it in one for me. and all the investment in Sure Start and nursery education. It's, I mentioned before, it's just incredible, because if you give people that start early in life, they've got that for life, and they will, they can only go on from there and do better things.
Thank you.